I'm Andy Baehr, head of product and research at CoinDesk Indices. I'm here with Raj Dhamodharan from Mastercard. Great to see you.
Great
Thanks
to
for
see you as
coming
well.
in.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic studio, fantastic event outside. I think we're going to have a great morning meeting with people to talk about stablecoins. Now,
Absolutely.
look,
Yeah.
if I get up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday and go to buy a bagel, my Mastercard works just fine without stablecoins. So, why launch into this effort in the first place?
Yeah. That's absolutely correct, and you absolutely don't need a stable coin to buy a cup of coffee or anything else for that matter. We have 3.4 plus billion cards and 150 million merchant locations, and that works just fine. And I think what you're going to find is that there are a number of use cases that are out there that are interesting for stable coins to play a role. I'll use a couple. We have many of the financial institutions and crypto wallet providers issuing stablecoin. I was meant to say issuing Mastercard card.
Mm-hmm.
And example is MetaMask. Example is Kraken in Europe. Crypto.com, OKX we recently announced. All of these people are liquid on stablecoins today, and they issue stablecoin linked cards, meaning that somebody can have a balance in a stablecoin and use the cards in any of the millions of merchant locations that we accept.
So if I don't want to off-ramp, if off-ramping is the thing I don't want to do, yet I want to have a MasterCard, now I can do this.
It provides access. It provides utility. It provides assurance that you can actually access it every time, and that enables people to keep in the currency of their choice. And we call those stablecoin linked cards. And many of those cards that are in the market today, including all the way from an exchange-based card to a self-custody card like MetaMask, if you will.
I see.
And so in those cases, those financial institutions or crypto wallets can choose to settle with us in stablecoin. That's fine with us because they're liquid on it, and the converse is true as well. Some of the emerging markets, merchants prefer U.S. dollar-based stablecoins, and if that is legal to do so in that country, we provide that choice.
Right.
For example, New Way we announced a couple of weeks ago, and New Way can now enable stablecoin-based settlement for their merchants, and we in turn can settle with them on stablecoins. That's just one place where cards get used,
right.
And in the context of stablecoins. But there are a lot more that we can talk about, including how we enable cross-border remittance and so forth. Yeah.
So that's so one thing is you're reaching new customers who want to have their who want to remain on chain, right? Yet be able to pay for things in dollars. The second was to get into emerging areas which like to use US dollar denominated things and to use stable coins there if they can. Why not provide service? I guess those are precursors to having it be seamless whether to use stable coins or dollars for everybody, including people who don't fall into those two categories.
Yeah, look, I think as you said, at the end of the day, it's about the choice, and we're not really here to pick favorites and winners in terms of the currencies. We today, for example, support hundreds of different currencies. You take your card from here, go to anywhere in the world. You don't think about how a merchant wants to get paid. They would make that choice behind the scenes and what currency they like. You decide what currency you want to spend because that's the balance that you have in your bank account or crypto wallet or whatever the case may be. So it's really fundamentally about choice. And so as stablecoins come into it, we want to continue to extend that choice.
Let me ask my naive question. I sort of give myself one naive question of the day. I'm going to spend it here. If I have a dollar-based or conversely a stablecoin-based MasterCard, but the merchant wants the payment the other way, can you make the conversion? Can you help bridge the gap there?
This is not this is a very informed question. And goes to the crux of what we do.
I'll save my naive question for later then. Thank you for giving it back to me.
Yeah. So it's actually fundamental to it, right? So the people on the consumer side, you make the choice on the money that you want to spend, and the merchant makes the choice on the currency they want to receive payments in, and we make that happen. And in fact, we're here with Paxos, and Paxos is one of the partners where they do those conversions for us as needed, either on the issuing side of the card or on the merchant side with the acquirer. They play an integral role in helping make that happen.
Now, look, anybody who is in this business, whether it's Bitcoin people or digital asset people, stablecoin we all had to have a moment of bravery where we were at least swimming, at least if not against the tide, but trying to cross the river. What was your story, and what gave you the determination to really want to focus your efforts in this area?
Yeah, look, as we make choices on what rails and what currencies to enable, one of the fundamental things that we always think about is that can we honor the contract that we have, meaning not the commercial contract, but the contract we have with the consumers, the trust they place. They look to us to bring a trusted, safe payment method on the network. They know that when they use a Mastercard, they can trust the payment. They can challenge it if that's not the goods that they ordered, received. And that's kind of informs everything, right? Safety, trust, and how do we make consumer experience simple. So when the stable coins, so then you ask the question of when do we kind of start, what was that moment? The moment is not one thing, but a series of things. It's especially when you see clearly that stable coin, first of all, is stable. Like that is important for it to, there are different types of flavors of stable coin that are algorithmically oriented and all that. Is it fully backed, fully compliant, regulated in the jurisdiction that we operate in? It's a fundamental thing for us because the safety of the funds and that is paramount for us. And then the second thing is that can we is there consumer demand, or is there customer demand? In our cases, the wallet providers and the merchants and so forth. And are we then providing a safe, equitable choice? And we are not here to pick, you must use fiat, you must use stable coins. Those kind of inform. I think over the last few years, and I would say this progressively happened. Obviously, we have a state-based legislation here, New York, the US-based legislation, the regulatory framework I meant, that approves a set of stable coins and that provides, say, a proper framework. In Europe, there is actually European Union-wide MiCA regulation, as you know, and that helps as well. And we've been we work with today in our current business, all the central banks and regulatory authorities around the world. And we're also seeing that getting mature. So all of that gives us the assurance that, look, we are making a safe, simple, and usable choice with all the protections that we offer in our network. And that kind of determines the moment, right? So it's not one thing, as you can imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so as long as there's a regulatory framework and customer demand and your own internal stability and
in terms of the stable coins, how well they're formed.
That's
and
right.
how
Other than that, you're not partisan to one or another. You
absolutely
just want
not.
to serve your customers with those
absolutely
standards.
Not. Yeah.
So tell me about how you're feeling with the acceleration of progress in the United States, where a year ago you might have felt like you were ahead and kind of waiting for everybody to catch up. The velocity has picked up, hasn't it?
Oh my God, it has absolutely picked up, and I think it's very exciting for us as well. We just recently, last week, it's quite topical for us. We announced a partnership with MoonPay where anyone in multiple jurisdictions can actually send stable coins as kind of think of gig worker payment, think of disbursements from an enterprise that can go anywhere in the world, and they can get accessed in using a Mastercard. We talked about the crypto linked or stablecoin linked cards. So when that packaged with money movement, it's quite exciting, and the kind of power it brings not only to an enterprise that wants to distribute money to people, but also the receiving side. They suddenly have a choice. They were sitting in a currency potentially that is highly volatile, and they are now sitting on a stable coin that continues to earn rewards in some cases, but more importantly provides access when they need it.
Right.
In millions of locations. So it's when you can package features like that and it really solves the pain point in the market, it's wonderful to see. And I think we are just, I would say, still in the ground floor to second floor, if you will, kind of stage of this, and we're super excited to bring a lot more use cases.
It's unusual how clear the future can seem when you know the next couple of steps, and maybe that's the benefit of things being moved at this very measured pace. So I'm dying to ask, are your colleagues at Mastercard who are not involved in stablecoins, who might have been looking at you 18 months, 2 years ago with what are those guys doing, and now they must be a little envious?
Look, we in Mastercard we are focused on range of products and services, and crypto being just one of them. And we have a very open-minded approach to be able to get into each space, use the guiding principles we use, and say, we have our brand has a right to play. Can we offer value to the ecosystem participants? And that's what determines many of this. And we have a large community of we have a decent sized team that is working on this stuff, but there is a large community of interested parties in Mastercard that constantly on chatter about one thing or the other. So the excitement never died, even through the ups and downs, if you will.
I'm delighted to hear it. Well, we have a big day ahead of us, and we'll see each other later on a panel. It was such a delight, Raj, to meet you and to talk to you today.
Great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.